everyone. By the time you see this, I know it's morning. But I thought today we'd talk again about bar chords. The subject keeps coming up. I keep hearing people talk about it. Everyone has opinions about it. And you know what? It's something that's doable. But you have to, first of all, have the right tools and then also the right approaches. So I thought I've got like 6 things I want to share with you. Hopefully I can get through them really quickly in the next 10 minutes to just a little tip to how to approach this whole thing about learning how to do a bar chord. You know, there's ways around bar chords. If you can't do a bar chord, maybe for some physical reason, you know, you can do partial chords or do the chords in pieces when you're playing. You know, there's different things you can do, but it is good to know how to do a bar chord. And when I play, I use a combination of partial chords and power chords, but there's also a time for bar chords. And I showed you that at the beginning where I started out on a song that I didn't want to get a copyright on. So I only gave you a little bit of it. So I do that with a bar chord. I'm sure it could be done some other way. There's always a way around it, but I just happen to like that. So it's good to learn bar chords. I think it just gives you one more tool to express yourself on the guitar. So, okay, so let's talk about that. Well, first of all, I think you need to look at your guitar setup, okay? Because if your action is too high, what I mean by action, if your strings are too far away from the frets and the fingerboard, you're going to struggle with doing a bar chord because it takes some strength. But if you have a guitar that's set up right, then you'll have a better chance at it. Let me show you something. I fell down here. Let me get it. Okay, here it is. Okay, so if you get onto Amazon.com and put in string action gauge in the search engine, that's if you have Amazon. Maybe you have some other online system to do this, but look up string action gauge and you'll get one of these little metal gauges if you purchase it. They cost about $10. I think Dunlop puts one out for $14, and there's a couple other companies. One's $8, one's $9. And then you could go to Stu Mac, and they have their own, and I think that's like $20, $25. But anyways, they all work quite well. And I like this one here because they do it in inches. I guess all of them really have inches on it. And I'm used to inches. That's just, I wasn't brought up with a metric system, so I just am most comfortable with inches. So I use that. And what I do is you place this at your string, your low E string, and then you want to be on your 12th fret, okay? So count your frets if you're not sure which one that is. And what you're going to do is put this little string gauge down there, and you'll see the little lines here. When you place it down there, you're going to look at the bottom of your string, just underneath, and wherever that number is at, read that, where it comes out, where it just touches it. And in this case, it's 0.08 inches. And I like that 0.08 inch. That is really good. I keep mine for that string. I mean, you can measure all the strings, but for that string, generally I keep it between 0.08 and 0.09. That's comfortable for me. I wouldn't want it much lower because then you run the risk of string buzz. This is a MacKenzie Marr guitar. And I'm telling you, these guitars are built so well that it handles that low action. Some people like a little higher action because when they really dig in, they get string buzz. But I have to say, this one handles where this is set at. It is really nice. a great guitar. So anyways, but enough on MacKenzie Marr. So that'd be the first thing. Make sure you have a guitar that's set up right. If you happen to check it and it's really high, like if you have 1.0 or 1.1, you're going to run into struggles. So take it to somebody that knows how to adjust it, that knows how to set that guitar up. Because when you get that back, not just bar chords, but everything else will fall into place. It'll be a lot easier to play your guitar. Okay? So I think that's number one. You know, check your guitar setup. The second thing is, you know, so when we approach the bar chording, you know, what are we using? Well, obviously your bar is this finger here. And so, you know, when you put the finger down onto the fretboard, you don't want the flat here. And you can't do the side. That's not natural. So you want between the side and the flat. It's kind of like the edge. And that little place will, if you set it down next to the fret, you'll get your bar there, okay? Now, so do that. If you got your guitar right now, pick up your guitar. Hopefully you got it set up well. And say, let's just use the fifth fret. That's where I'm at right now. And just lay down that finger, but make sure it's near this fret, as near as, not on it, but just you know, just barely touching it, okay? And in this case here, I'm just have the one bar. You notice I laid my other finger on top of it. If you're just doing just the bar like that, you could do that, but you need these other fingers to make your formation. So it's not always going to work. Okay, so I'm using the edge of my finger. I'm making sure that my finger is right next to the fret. So you know, so those are the two things you want to make sure, that you're using the edge of your finger and that the finger where it's placed is next to the fret. Now, you have 4 questions. They're where questions, okay? So, well, actually, it's 3 questions. They're where questions. The first one is, where is your elbow? Okay, so you laid down your finger, you made sure it was on the edge, and you've got it there. Now check your elbow. Is it out here? Because if it's out here, you're going to find that you notice what happens when I put your finger is no longer straight. It's coming in at an angle towards the fret, and so that's going to be a struggle. But if you bring your elbow in, look what happens. This is natural, okay? So bring your elbow in, okay? And so now the next question is, where's your thumb? Okay, so is it up here? If it is, you shouldn't be able to see it. It should be behind your fingerboard, right in the kind of in the middle there. So it's giving equal pressure onto that finger, okay? So watch where you put your thumb. Don't let it be sliding around or you know, too far up this way. It's right behind the very fret that you're putting your bar on, in the middle of that fingerboard, okay? And that'll help a lot in terms of giving you the strength to press that down. Okay, and you shouldn't have to press super hard. If that guitar is set up well, it should, you know, I mean, you have to have strength and you have to build up to it. But, you know, it's not as hard as it could be if you don't have it set up right, okay? So then the question is, where's your elbow? Where's your thumb? And where's the palm of your hand? So if that palm of your hand is pulled in like this, your elbow's in, you're pulled in like this, you're not going to be able to do it. It's going to feel like you're stretching. So make sure it's not extended way out, but it's not against this way either. It's when you pull that elbow in, you should have just a little bit of room in between your palm and the side of that guitar, okay? And so now that you got that down, lay down your chord shape. And in this case, we're using an E chord shape. So those are things that I think about when I think about a bar chord. Okay, you're using the edge of your finger. You are making sure it's close to the fret. You're asking the question, where's my elbow? Where's my thumb? And where is the palm of my hand? Okay? So if you use those keys, see how that happens, how that works for you. See if that works for you. And so once you get that down, you can lay down your chord shape. Okay? And so I would do it in that sequence to learn. Start by laying down the bar, then lay down the chord shape. And then take your hand off, lay down the bar, then lay down the chord shape. It's just a way of teaching your brain to accept this. Lay down the bar, lay down the chord shape. And then as you get better at it, lay down the chord shape, then lay down the bar. Okay? Then lay down the bar, then lay down the chord shape. And do that over and over again. And eventually what will happen is you'll be able to go right to it. Okay? So that song, you'll be able to do that. Or well, I'm going to leave you right there with that. And I want to remind everyone, the 27th, we're going to have a live. It'll be a Tuesday night, 6 p.m. California time. And if you haven't subscribed, if you could do that, I'd really appreciate it. I'm trying to move my channel up to get to 5,000 because I have a goal. Once I get there, I'm going to make a logo, and I may do some printables or something, but I'm just trying to take this in stages. And it seems like the closer I'm getting to 5,000, because I'm like 180 away, the slower the channel is growing. It's like it's struggling right now. It's not growing as fast as it did at first. And maybe that's just natural. But if you haven't subscribed, I'd really appreciate it that you do that. I thank you so much. And then also, I don't know if there's I guess that's it. So I'm going to leave you with that. And I hope you have a great day or night wherever you are in this world.